Oh, one, two. There we go. Okay. Thank you very much for for that. Again, just always a problem. It seems like on Monday morning, I can't seem to get the StreamYard. I'm probably going to switch to a different service because it's becoming more and more difficult to use. So, but thank you very much for pointing out that I was muted. Um, and so let's kind of go through some of the other things, some of the stuff that you're talking about. Okay, all right, no sound. Okay, it's me. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Sounds on TikTok is okay, but not Facebook. Okay. Okay. So sometimes I have problems with the streaming service, StreamYard, and will cut out. So there we go. So okay, there we go. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I run the TikTok, because it's more reliable. Unfortunately, a lot of these services, this is why TikTok is basically winning, because their platform is more reliable than a lot of these other ones. So, anyways, so let's go in. Let's go in. Is it a dead cat bounce? If so, is XOM apply? I think it is a dead cat bounce here. I really do. So let's look at XOM. I wouldn't be long right now because the overall trend in the market is still down. I mean, we've had 2 days up, but the overall trend in the market is still down. Now, we did have a night, there was a nice reversal here. It cut well below the 50-day line and then moved up. But I'm just really, I'm still a little bit dubious here. This would not be a bad place to buy Axon. We have a nice relative strength line, which is moving up. That's a very good sign. We have some strong buying that's coming in. I mean, I think you could definitely start a nibble here. One of the ones that I've been looking at, possibly get into, is Phillips 66. I think it's PSX. I think it's Phillips 66. Is that right? Yeah, Phillips 66. This is another one that I'm kind of looking. Very similar chart to, very similar chart to the Axon chart, but also in the buy zone. So this one might be good. Might be a good look here. We still are in a situation where most of the, most everything is most everything is still, it's most everything is still bad, but the oil sector is continuing to move higher. So that's the one area that you really can look at for a possible buy. I mean, really, without that, without the oil sector, I don't think I'd want to be going long on very many things. Let's kind of take a look at the industry groups just to see if indeed that is the case. I'm going to look at the group rank here, and hopefully that will give us, there we go. That should give us, yeah, okay, so number one, coal, and then that has been number one. It remains number one. Oil and Gas Royalty Trust, this is very small. The drillers look pretty good. U.S. E&P. I think really where you want to be here is in number 4, which is the oil and gas. The oil and gas integrated. I think this is really continues to be the best group out there. Now, mostly this is if you look at it, the stocks in this group pretty similar: Exxon, Chevron, Shell, Total. And then the other ones. So this is I think where you want to be if you want to be long anything. Currently, I'm really not long. I'm not long anything. Now I did open a short, and let me show you this one. This is on Bill, BILL, and I don't know if I got this right or wrong. I think I did okay. We opened the short right here, and it was a 110, 105, 105, and it does look like we're getting some. Yeah, that's good. So we're getting some retreat after hours. So this is the Bill.com. This is the Bill.com short, and I'll probably have more on that tomorrow for you. But this one I do believe is headed lower, just based on a lot of screening that I did over the weekend. And I do have potentially another short. Haven't put it on yet. And that is on, believe it or not, Target, TGT. And I haven't set that one up yet, but this one is a potential short, I believe. Remember, it came way down here, and then it kind of rallied up, and it's at the 10-day line right now. And it did rally this morning, and then after hours, it's starting to move down. I think this is going to move lower. So I'm getting ready to short this one. This is, of course, Target. And, I do believe this thing is going to move significantly lower. We're at 150. I think it's going to, it's going to start to make this downward trend. We had this big fall off here, and then it's been kind of, it rallied up to the 10-day line, and it looks as if it is almost at the 10-day line now. Obviously, the best place to short this would be at the 21-day line. Now we're a little bit far away from that. We're about 8% away from that. So I kind of want to wait on this. I want to short it when this thing moves up to a little bit closer to the 21-day line. But I don't know if that's going to happen with Target. It's very weak right now, and it looks like it may go lower. So you might want to put this one on your short list. Target, TGT. I think that we're going to have some good we have some good potential there. So we will see what happens here. But this is Target, and you've probably seen it, of course. So if you're going to be long, you really want to be long in the areas of the market that are performing well. And there really is only one area that's performing well, and that is the oil and gas. If you'll notice in the top, from the it just really hasn't changed. I mean, from the number 1 position basically down to the number 11 position, these are all essentially energy related here. Also, interestingly enough, we do have retail department stores that's doing well, but the discount stores for some reason are not doing as well. I don't know why that's the case, but that's just the case. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in terms of things to short. So I did short Bill.com today. We'll see what happens, and we'll just see. All right, TikTok. Okay. TikTok and Facebook feedback. Oh, boy. One of these days is going to actually work. The thing to do, Charles, probably is just turn down one and just run the sound, because I can't, for some reason it's gotten into this loop, and I don't know why that is the case. So maybe if I could just turn off this. Maybe it's a speaker that's coming through. I'd probably have to go back to the headsets. That seems to be the way that it works the best. Well, sorry about that. Thoughts on CL, especially in this environment? Let's look at CL. And on. CL, Colgate Palmolive. One of the areas that is being shorted quite a bit. There's a lot of short interest in the consumer durables, which is normally a safety. Come on, which is normally a safety area. It does look like the 50-day line is moving below the 200-day line, and it did move up here. I mean, this could, it's in the bottom of a consolidation. I don't know. I probably, in personal care, that's a low area, 112. I don't know. I just think that there's better shorts out there, to be honest with you. I wouldn't go long on this one, but probably wouldn't be short on it either. Just kind of in between there. All right. Are we dropping 20%? Well, I do believe we are going to eventually drop about 20%. Now, the question is, when is that going to happen? Well, we're in a relief rally right now. So the question is, how long will that last? Let's look at the NASDAQ to see. NASDAQ composite. There we go. So hopefully this will now come up correctly. Yes, it will. Good. All right. So finally, I've gotten this right. This is the NASDAQ. As you can see, we're still in a downward trend, big time. We did have this relief. We did have this little relief. We came down here, and then we're moved back up. Now after hours, it's definitely up. So I definitely think that. But if the overall direction is still downward, so I still think we're going to go lower. I mean, I don't think we're at the bottom by any stretch of the imagination, based on these charts. So I definitely think we're going to go lower. That's just the likelihood, I believe. EGY. EGY. Let's take a look at EGY. Valco. This is an interesting one. It's in the buy zone. It's in the right area of the market too, by the way. Relatively inexpensive stock here. I mean, the buy point $8.23. We're right at the top of the buy zone, and we are at 99 relative strength. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I have to admit, this is, I've played this one a few times. As you can see, I've played it as it came up to this buy point. But now that we're firmly at this buy point, I don't know, it's looking pretty good. It's got a 89 checklist. The only thing it's failing on is the price, and that's really not, that's really not a fail in my book. Not in this market. So I think, yeah, I definitely think this is looking very good, very, very good. So, so interesting there, very interesting. All right, the man with the plan, 52. Okay, let's look at Tesla. Big bump in Tesla today. It was up like 10%, and this is interesting because this was on the heels of the layoff, the layoff notice that came out from Elon. I'm still, I still think that there's all kinds of overhead supply. I really don't want to get involved until we get above this 900 level. I mean, I do like the stock, but we do have the death cross on it, unfortunately, right now. We're in a downward trend. I just don't like to buy things in a downward trend. So I'm kind of on the sidelines on Tesla right now. I'd like to be in it. I like to be in Tesla, but that's just not the, it's not working. That's just not working. All right, let's see if we got some more messages here. All right. Do you think the red week was from the quad week? No, not really. I just think that the red week is the general direction of the market. We're still in a downward trend. Even though we've had two updates, just two updates, and hopefully we'll get to a fourth update, but we've had just two updates, and people are calling it a bottom. I don't think it's a bottom. I think it's got 20% more to go down lower. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I do. I hope I am wrong, because I don't think that this is really great for a lot of people's 401ks, but I do believe we're going to go lower. It's just, at least right now, it just seems to be, it just seems to be that way. I mean, let's go back to the S&P. Let's look at that again on the screen. Yeah, we just have and let's go over here to the monthly chart. You see, we definitely have. I mean, this was a test. This is the monthly chart. I mean, we've been in a decline. We've been in a decline since November. The question is, will we get support at this level? Well, that's part of the reason I think we're getting this bounce. To be honest with you, I think we're getting this bounce because this is traditionally where you're going to see, you would see this ring rally. I hope it rallies here, but I'm not so sure that it will. I think we have further to go down. I think we've pierced it just like we did here. I think we've got further to go down, and then I think we may rally towards maybe in a month or so we may get a rally. But right now, we're on the second day of the rally attempt. So BORR, this is a drilling ETF. BORR, let's take a look. And this would be one of the few places that you could probably you could probably get involved here, because it is in an area that is trending higher, oil and gas. So it's a fairly safe area. Is this really a good buy point? Well, the last pivot on this thing, even though it does have a 99 checklist, the last pivot was way back here. Over 116 days ago at 230. So that's the last real pivot it's had. It's still kind of it's still just moving, and it's sort of all over the place. So, where can you buy this? Well, according to the technicals, you're a little bit far, you're a little bit too extended from the 21-day line. So really the only choice here, unfortunately for Bohr, is to wait for it to pull back to the 21-day line. Now, I don't know if it will. It looks like it's getting pretty active. But one of the things about stocks that are in this price range is that they can be very, very volatile. I mean, just a few pennies can make a huge difference. So I think I would try to wait for this thing to see if it pulls back down to the 21-day line. I would look to buy if you want to buy this, I would buy this with a limit order, and I would buy it. I would put that limit order at about 572. So that's where I would look to buy this. I wouldn't buy this at the market right now, just because I think that I think that that's just not going to work. So for Bohr, I would try buy at a limit of $5.72. And the reason for that number is that is where the 21-day line is. So that's where I would look to try to come in and buy it. It is viable, but I want to buy it at that green line as close as I can to get to that green line, because that's going to give us some protection. The way this is trending is it's trending above the 21-day line, but it's moving above it, and then it's pulling back, and it's moving above it. So it's pulled already back to the 21-day line. It did basically on Friday. On Thursday and Friday, it was below the 21-day line. Obviously, if that would be probably was the best place to buy it. So I would wait for a reversal. I do think we're going to get a reversal on this one, probably tomorrow. We'll see. It's looking like, but I do think we're going to get a reversal on it. If we do, that's where you want to buy it. But I would set my limit order at 573, and then if I didn't get a fill within, if I didn't get a fill, then I would probably try to move it up a little bit. So that's kind of where what I'd look to do on it. All right, HDS into short. Okay, let's look at that. HDSN. Give me a great idea here. Hudson Technologies. Would I short that? No. No, and I'll tell you why I wouldn't short that one. It's above that 200-day line. It's above the 50-day line. It's above the 21-day line. So I wouldn't short this one. So on this one, HDSM, I wouldn't short this one just based on that. I just don't think it's a good idea. So HDSN would not short. And the reason is I just don't like to short things that are in an upward trend. And it's just not the place to short it. You want to make sure that it's kind of crossed below. Typically, I like to see it cross below that the 200-day line. That's kind of where I like to see it to short. So I wouldn't short it there. I wouldn't short that one. But it's definitely interesting one on the watch list, definitely. All right, let's take another question. Thank you so much. What do you think of BITI? Okay, I think this is one of the Bitcoin ones. Is it BITA or BitO? Not sure. Okay, let's see. S&P 500 cannot go or break above 3,800. Let's go back to the S&P to take a look to see if I agree with that or not. All right, let's go back to the S&P here. Let's see if we can break above that. Well, 3,800. Okay, well, definitely we have resistance. Okay, here's what's happening is that it's coming down, it's pulling below the resistance, it's coming up. Now, when that happens, this becomes the floor. When it comes below, this is now the ceiling. So I agree with you. 3,800 or thereabouts is resistance for the for the S&P 500. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think that we're likely to get a little bit of a rally tomorrow. This is one of the reasons why I'm preferring my shorts, because I do think we're going to get a little bit of a rally, but I do think that this 3,800 level is likely to be, it's likely to be an area where you're going to see a lot of selling. So, yeah, I definitely think that's definitely the case. Okay. It could not maintain 730 support and okay. This is a question about Tesla, about 730 support. Yeah, the problem with Tesla is there's a lot of overhead supply, and it's just very tough right now. I want to see it convincingly close above 900. Then I become more interested in it. Right now, I'm just watching it because I just can't really, I just don't think it's gonna move that well. BITI. Is that BITI or BITO? Let's look at BITO. BITI. I guess that's one of them. No, BITO. This is one of the Bitcoin ETFs. Yeah, this is a Bitcoin strategy. It's terrible. Look at that. It's terrible. So yeah, we really can't do anything with that. All right. Well, it's going to probably be a pretty short today because I've got some technical issues. ET. Let's look at ET. All right. That's Energy Transfer Partners. And that one's been a good one. That's a pipeline company. And we have an okay. This is a good chart. All right. This is indeed a good short. I mean, not a good short. This is indeed a good one if you want to buy this. 93 relative strength. I like that. It bounced off that 200-day line. That is a good place for it to get support. And yeah, this one's looking very good. So I like this. I like Energy Transfer. Definitely like Energy Transfer here. I'm not a buyer of it, but I would be considering it. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. All right, let's see if we can get some more. Tesla. Will Tesla be at $1,500? Well, it's going to probably be a long wait for you. I think it's going to be a long wait. Did you see a 1987 mark crash? I was actually around for that, believe it or not. I was just starting out, and I wasn't really a full-time trader. I had a few shares, but I didn't really have enough at that point in 1987. I did not have enough to really be dangerous because I just didn't have a whole lot in the market at that time. So it crashed, but did not make a lot of difference for me because I didn't have a lot of money at that time. Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, Shell. Let's look at Shell for Charles. Thank you, Charles, for being patient with me. When I get these technical things, they seem to come in threes. I don't know why. This is a browser-based system that I'm using, and sometimes it loses connection, and boy, getting it back is tough. I have a position in Shell. I haven't been doing that great on it. I'm down a little bit on it. I bought my full position at 59.64. I've just been sitting there ever since, and so I do think it's going to bounce. But again, this one has not been of the big walls that I have down. This one has not been that great. It did come down. And this probably is buyable here. Like all these have the same pattern. They're coming down to that 50-day line. It did bounce, and it's probably headed higher. It's probably headed higher on this one. But it is a little concerning that we have the 21-day line moved below the 50-day line. So that's showing some weakness there. But the relative strength line is good at 95. So that's looking pretty decent. This one wouldn't necessarily be a bad place to buy Shell. My buy was not very good. Let me show you that. I was like, oh, well, I'll just buy those integrated companies. They're all doing good. They all have similar chart patterns. And this is why it's so important to always look before you leap. I bought it here basically when it pulled back to the 10-day line, thinking it would have more strength. And, bought it right at the pivot. And then we did well. And then I did sell some of it off, but still, when it pulled down below, this is why, the 7% rule is important. Now, I did not sell everything at 7%. I tiered it down, but I still have some of it. So, But I don't think this is necessarily a bad place to be buying Shell, because I do think it is in an upward trend. I do think it's in an upward trend still. It's one of the only ones that that I like. Is it still too late to short CRK? CRK. And I'm going to go through, in this second, I'm going to go through Comstock Resources. I wouldn't short this one. I wouldn't short this one. This just isn't a good shorting pattern, Charles. We're in an upward trend. We did break the upward trend here, but I wouldn't short this one. No, I would not short this one. Let's see if I can get you some good, if I can give you some good ones that I've been looking at to short. One of the ones that I like to short, let's look at DoorDash. Look at DoorDash. And that's dash, D-A-S-H, of course, the symbol on DoorDash. This is one I am kind of looking to short. It just seems to be, it's a $63 stock. It did kind of rally today, which I like. It did sort of rally. Let's look at this 15-minute chart. Yeah, and then there's starting to be some weakness coming in there. I think you could short this one. I would use a bear put spread on this to short it, but this one is potentially going lower. I really believe that. What's happening is it's been under the 21-day line. It's rallied to the 21-day. It's right pretty much at the 21-day line. Take a look at that. On the technicals, well, we're a little further away than right, but we're within 5%. Well, we're not. We're a little bit above. So we're at 5.59% below the 21-day line, but I don't think this is necessarily a bad place to short it. This is one you might want to put on your list. I haven't shorted this one yet, but it's definitely on. It came up on my list. Another one I've been looking at to short is Zendesk, Z-E-N. I want to show you that one as well. That one is also come way down here. We do have, what I like about this one technically is that it's got the death cross on it, which is good. It's right. It's a little bit, it's starting to kind of firm up here a little bit, but let's see how close to the 10-day line is. The problem is this is just too far away from the 10-day line to get a lot of a drop. This is going to go lower, but the question is how much lower and how fast. But this is also one that I'm looking at. Zendesk, Z-E-N, is the symbol on that one. So this is, I'm just kind of giving you my short. Let's put that up there. Kind of my short, potential. Shorts. This is Zen, Z-E-N. Now, I do think this one's going a lot lower. I really do, because there's a lot of institutional ownership of this. Let's go over here to owners. Yeah. We have 1,000 share people in this one, and they got to get out. They got to get out of this one, because this one is just not, Zendesk. They got to get out of this one. So I do think this is a good short. Zen, Z-E-N. I haven't shorted it yet. Also, one that I thought was potentially a good short was Datadog, D-D-O-G. And let's look at that one. I want to see how that's shaping up. This one might be a little bit better short. Again, we had a nice, let's get that out of the way. I want to kind of get that out of the way. Look at that annotation. So get that up here. Markup tool. So basically, I'm trying to get rid of that. Anyways, yeah, I get delete those annotations. Yes. Okay. So what's happened here is that there's a lot of weakness on this one. We still have $90 shares. I think this one could come down. Datadog could be a lot lower than this because it's an IPO. I see this one coming down basically to the resistance here, which if you look at it, see, I see this coming down to there. I think it's where support is. And if we look at that, that would be at about 74. So I definitely think there's quite a bit of ways to go. I think we could easily move from here to 80 without 10. We could get a 10 drop easily with this one. And this is Datadog, DDOG. This is another one that I think is very weak and potentially a lot. Look at this. Computer Software Enterprise, 181 on 197. This is in the bottom end of the market. So it's got a relative strength of 21. It is in an upward trend right now. This is the right place to short it. So Datadog is another one that I think I'm looking at right now. I haven't shorted it, but I'm also looking at potentially to do it. This has become my list that I was making this weekend. Now I have successfully shorted Workday, WDAY. And again, as you notice, most of these are from the computer software area. This one probably is not as good a candidate just because it looks like it's already, yeah, see, I had my bear call spread there. I entered the spread here, and then I wrote it down, and then I closed it. And I probably should have reopened it again because you can see it's just been a trail of woe ever since. Let's see. Foot Locker. That's another one that kind of came up on the scan this morning. So Foot Locker, FL. This one has a lot of potential as but the problem is it's too cheap a stock in my opinion. But see, you have this formation, this L formation. This is a good shorting formation where it comes down, it drops, and then it kind of just meanders here, and then eventually it can't hold on, and then it drops some more. But the problem is this is a $20 stock, so probably not the best one. One of the ones I did also like is MongoDB. MDB is one that I also like. This one I think is shortable because we did rally here. I definitely like this setup because we've rallied up to that 21-day line. If it can't hold on here, which I think let's see how close to the 21-day line it is. Yeah, it's 2% above that 21-day line. I like this one as a short. MongoDB. I want to kind of look at some of the fundamentals on it. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, well, the thing about it is it does have some very strong earnings. So that's a little bit worrisome. I'd like to see something that's breaking down. But it's in a downward trend. I think it could definitely come down to support there, and it's trying to move back up to the and mostly this is a relatively strong stock. It's just that it's got negative cash flow. It's in a downward trend. It's highly owned by funds. Let's look at that. Yeah, it's highly owned by funds. They're still going up, actually. Wow, it's amazing. But it's in this downward trend, and it's got this relative strength of 20. So I kind of like this one also as a potential short. That's MongoDB. So that's kind of what I've got for you today. Let's see if there's any more questions, and then we're probably going to wrap it up. Thanks, everybody. Too late, too short. Okay, great. So just to reiterate the potential shorts that I had today, there would have been Zendesk, Datadog, and MDB, which is MongoDB. So those are the ones that I kind of think have a potential to short: Zen, Datadog, and MDB. All right, everybody, thank you very much for taking a look at the show today. Sorry for the technical problems. Hopefully I'm going to get those sorted out. Yeah, it always is an issue with these things. So hopefully I get it sorted out. I will be back tomorrow, of course, at 5, and hopefully with some better ideas here. I do think we're going to, this is this day 2 of the rally attempt. We could, if we go to day 4, then we have a confirmed uptrend. So currently we're in a downtrend. So we're in a market and correction. But if we have 2 more days and a fall through day, that will create a fall through day and we'll be in an uptrend. So I am probably going to be shorting something using bear put spreads. That's probably what I'm going to be doing because I do think we are going to make another leg lower. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, let's look at BLK. Oh, thank you. Finance Fun. That's a great one. BLK. Let's take a look at it. See what's going on there. BlackRock. Wow. This is like the biggest asset manager, I think, in the world. Is it shortable? I don't know. The problem with BlackRock is they've got all their connections with the government. So I don't know. They're kind of a too big to fail kind of thing. But it is not looking, this is not, we definitely have, it's been going down and then, down and then relief down. So, and we are coming up to the 21-day line. We're still in a downward trend on this, obviously. Let's see how close to that 21-day line is. That's really close. Yeah, 1.8%. Would you short this? I would probably not short this, knowing what I know about this company. I think that this could be a little bit dangerous. I would watch this one, but I probably would not short this one, just because of Larry Fink and his unbelievable political power. So I probably wouldn't short that one. Just saying. But let's see. Okay, so if you're not already a member of the Action Trade Alerts, easy to do. Just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor. Also, please like the show because it really helps us get out there. So please hit that like button and subscribe. That would be great too. So do that, and I will be back tomorrow at 5. Happy trading.